Well, this is a project that means a lot to so many people. It isn't cheap to complete, though, and how to go about financing was a big topic of tonight's discussions. It's the public's final chance to weigh in on the future of a shuttered building that once brought a lot of life to downtown Burlington.
One of the most positive projects that the city of Burlington could possibly get involved in.
Since 1927, Memorial Auditorium has hosted concerts, politicians, sporting events, and other community gatherings.
With money, it could be very well used again.
But its doors have been closed for 2 years because of serious maintenance issues.
So it's decision time. It's exciting.
City officials gave a presentation on what the new building could look like: a new auditorium, space for banquets and parties, and even some landscape improvements along Main Street. But it comes at a steep cost.
If the city ran it, it would be $33 million. If the private company ran it, it would be $35 million.
Determining where all the money will come from is still a challenge. If the city runs the building, taxpayers would need to contribute $15 million through a general obligation bond, still leaving an $18 million gap in funding. If a private company operates it, the cost would rise to $35 million, but the gap would become smaller thanks to more outside money.
We unlock more money, so we have $35 million less 15 for general obligation bond, less $12 million for tax credits, leaving only an $8 million gap.
In both cases, the building would still be city-owned. Other options include doing nothing to the building at all or applying very basic maintenance improvements. Many seem to agree some major revamps would do the city a lot of good.
I'm for the project.
To do something so right, where it counts, and so greatly impact the quality of life in Burlington is a win-win-win.
If the city council gives it a thumbs up, the project could be on the ballot for March's town meeting day. Construction would begin in 2020. Now, there were some at tonight's meeting who did express concern about the price of this project. Not long ago, Burlington voters signed off on a $70 million high school renovation bond and a $30 million wastewater bond. So this is yet another major project city residents might need to consider. Reporting from the live desk tonight, Helena Battipaglia, NBC5 News.